You know, it's become incredibly difficult and very frustrating to do anything useful on streaming media these days. And I can see why more and more people are setting up their own websites with their own streaming systems. So it's like having a TV channel on the internet, because they're being gagged at every stage. If you ever say anything that the mainstream doesn't like, then unfortunately you get gagged. I try to post one video per day, and if I say something controversial, then it has to go on brand new tube. And I'm now finding that it's taking about 3 days to even approve a video, because I think they're doing it manually, whereas Google does it automatically. So they need to put some automatic stuff in there that can actually make sure that your YouTube videos aren't actually saying something vulgar. But at the moment, it's taking ages. It's just not worth it. So I subscribe to brand new tube, and then it's taking 3 days to say something simple. And I made a video on why people can't communicate. I know that people in the families can't communicate, friends can't communicate, spouses can't communicate, lovers can't communicate. But on a larger scale, I said, why is it that that world leaders can't communicate and world governments can't communicate? I mean, what is going on? Why can't we communicate with each other? Why do we have to go our separate ways? And when people can't communicate, the people who suffer from this lack of communication are people like you and me, and that's so unfair. I put together a video and I give an example of 2 supervisors who couldn't communicate, and the people that used to work for them got the rough end of the stick. And then I extrapolated that to the global level as to why global leaders and nations can't communicate. Because if they could communicate, you only have to pick up a telephone, don't you? A Russian leader can pick up the telephone and speak to the leader of America, and an American president can pick up a telephone and speak to, say, President Putin. So really, there is no excuse for why they can't communicate. Now, if they could communicate, if institutions could communicate, governments, nations, we wouldn't have any problems in this world. They would all get solved, because you'll find that there is at least somebody who's already solved what we're trying to solve. So if we were to communicate with each other, we wouldn't be suffering the kind of horrible problems that we're suffering at the moment.